If you do a fair amount of touring on your motorcycle or are planning to in the future, especially to remote areas, then being able to change a broken clutch cable on the side of the road is an important skill to have. Clutch cables rarely break. In fact, in the last 8 motorcycles I've owned over the last 11 years or so, I've only had one clutch cable break on me in the middle of a road trip. And two of the times I managed to spot an about to break clutch cable before the trip started, so I was able to fix it before the trip started. So only one time in the last 11 years, clutch cable has broken on me in the most inconvenience of time. But no big deal, even if you're not prepared, even if you don't have a clutch cable, you can always call for help, get your bike towed to the nearest mechanic or service center and get it fixed there. But in all likelihood, you lose half a day or even a day for all this to happen. But if you are prepared, if you do have a clutch cable and you do know how to change it, it's a super simple thing to do, and usually you'll be back on the road within an hour. So I like carrying a spare clutch cable every time I go on a road trip. And on today's episode of Easy's Garage, I'll show you how to replace a clutch cable on the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. Before we get started, I just want to address the infamous right side pulling issue of the Himalayan 450. And I made a video about it. I think it was my last video where I addressed some of the issues and why separate function forks that the Himalayan 450 has no effect on pulling the bike to the left or right. But what I failed to realize and what I failed to mention that few of you pointed out in the comments very correctly is that the way the clutch cable is routed on the Himalayan, it applies a force to the left of the handlebar, pushing the handlebar left. And when riding, that results in the bike countersteering, and that's what causes the bike to veer to the right. I believe it was Bug Moto who first made the correlation between this force applied by the clutch cable to the right side pulling issue. So go check out his channel. I actually never had this right side pulling issue because 2 years ago when I bought this bike, within the first 2 weeks of ownership, I was setting my clutch lever free play and I noticed this clutch cable pushing my handlebar to the left, and I fixed it immediately. So I've never had this right side pulling issue on my bike ever. But at that moment when I fixed this clutch cable routing issue, I never made the connection between the force that applies to the handlebar and then resulting in a counter steering when riding. But now that you guys mentioned in the comments, it makes absolute sense. So yeah, fixing this clutch cable routing will eliminate, for the most part, your bike pulling to the right. So let me just show you. I'm going to lift the front wheel off the ground and my handlebar doesn't turn at all. So when I show you how to replace the clutch cable, I'll also show you how to route it so you don't have this issue. Now, I don't think you need to remove the fuel tank to replace a clutch cable and route the new clutch cable in, even though it's routed underneath the fuel tank. But removing the fuel tank is so easy to do. If you've done it a few times, you'll know it takes no longer than 5 minutes to remove a fuel tank with basic tools. And again, another 5 minutes to reinstall the fuel tank. So I'm going to remove the fuel tank, and I've got a video showing how to do that. Links in the description. Go check that out, and then we'll get started. Fuel tank's off. So I just want to show you the routing of the clutch cable before we remove it. So it obviously starts right here at the clutch lever. And then it goes from here and it's routed on the left side underneath the tank right here. This is the clutch cable. And then there's a little mounting point on the frame. And that's where it just sits right there. So the frame holds the clutch cable. And then it goes to the other side of the bike, to the right side of the bike. So let me just show you that. And then it's attached to this clutch actuating arm, and the clutch is right here inside. 99 out of 100 times, if your clutch cable breaks, it's going to break right here where it connects to the clutch lever. So before you go on any road trip, it's a good idea to check your clutch cable right here. So pull your clutch lever in, check your clutch cable, examine the condition of it, make sure the metal strands are all fine and there's no fraying. And if you see any kind of damage to the clutch cable right here, before your trip, make sure you change your clutch cable. I'm sure a few of you are going to ask me questions about where I got this clutch lever. I've got a matching brake lever as well. I love these. These are adjustable, so if you've got long fingers or short fingers, you can adjust them to make it further away from the grip or closer. And also they're foldable, so if you're going off-roading, they won't break. They'll just fold. I got these 2 years ago from eBay, I believe. I'll put a link in the description so you can buy them. They come in different colors. Mine matches my Hanley black color, but they come in like 10 different colors to match your bike. Okay, so let's get started. So first things first, if your cable is snapped here, there won't be any tension here anyway. Since my cable hasn't snapped, I'm going to release the tension in the clutch cable. And the way to do that, this is the lock nut. It would have been locked right here, so we got to loosen this lock nut. And then we got to release tension in the cable by turning this little knob here. If you're looking at it from this direction, we got to turn it clockwise. That's going to release tension. So let me turn that. So there we go. I've released a lot of the tension. You can see there's very little tension here now. But we're going to release more tension so it's completely slack. And the way to do that is obviously from here. So I'm going to get two 12 mm spanners, this adjuster nut and lock nut. I'm going to loosen this completely, and that'll release tension completely from the clutch cable. With the tension on the clutch cable released, we should be able to remove the cable from this actuating arm right here. And we should be able to remove the rubber boot as well. Right, there you go. Let me remove this nut as well. Keep all of this safe. We gotta have to reuse this. Go to the other side and pull the clutch cable from the other side. And there you go. And that's completely out of this clutch cable guide. Now let's detach the clutch cable from the clutch lever. This has a slit right here, if you can see. This lock nut also has a slit. And then this perch also has a slit. So make sure all these three slits are lined up. Since there's no slack, you should be able to pull the clutch cable little out, like just like this, and then pull it out. If all those three slits are lined up, you should be able to pull it out just like that. And now we should be able to pull the clutch cable out from the front of the lever right here, and then push it down and it'll come out. There you go. So now we got to pull the clutch cable out from this little groove. It's already disconnected on the other side, right? So we can just pull this out now. There's a little rubber grommet that keeps it held in place with the frame. Once you pull out the rubber grommet from this groove, the cable will be easy to pull out. And by the way, the inner lock nut, it's actually best to take it out from here before you pull this cable out from this groove. I forgot to do that, but anyway, don't lose this inner nut. We're gonna reuse that. And now we can carefully pull the cable out from this way. Super easy. If I wasn't filming, I probably could have done this in another 10 minutes. Installing a new clutch cable is essentially the reverse of what we did to remove the old clutch cable. I'm just going to reinstall my existing clutch cable because there's nothing wrong with it. But anyway, I'll put the part number of the clutch cable that you can buy from Royal Enfield. So first things first is identify which end of the new clutch cable goes where. So it's this cylindrical shaped end. This always mounts to the clutch lever side. And then this other end, the thinner side, this mounts to the clutch actuating arm on the right side of the bike. I don't know if when the bike comes stock, if the cable is routed through in here in this metal bracket or not. Because you route it here, this is applying additional tension to this cable. It's holding it in place. Mine wasn't routed inside this bracket. It was actually routed outside. So I'm going to do that because I believe that's going to not push your handlebar to the left. So route the clutch cable through the cable guide right here and make sure the inner nut is still in place. And on this side, I've routed the cable through that little mounting hole on the frame right here. I've got my rubber grommet in the cable already prepared, so I'm just going to fit this rubber grommet in this little groove right here so it's snug. And as you can see, I've got my cable routed through this metal bracket right here, coming out in between the forks right here. I haven't routed it inside this other metal bracket right here along with the other cables. Now I'm going to hook it up to the clutch lever. This is looking at the underneath side of the clutch lever, and you see the little indent right here. That's where this cylindrical end of the clutch cable will fit into. If you're doing this at home, apply some waterproof grease onto this end of the clutch cable right here. But if you're changing a clutch cable on the road, you likely won't have any waterproof grease, so just go ahead and do without the grease for now. So I'm gonna fit this end into this little indent on the clutch lever. There's a little gap right here where the clutch cable will fit through. Now we're at the top. Again, that the ball end is connected in that indent underneath this clutch lever. And now this cable will just be routed through all these three slits: the slit on the adjuster nut, the slit on the lock nut, and the slit in this clutch lever perch. So make sure all these three slits are aligned so we can route the cable through them. There you go. And just make sure that the cable is nicely fitting into this adjuster nut. This adjuster nut, I've gone ahead and turned it clockwise if you're looking at it from this direction, and you can see there's a little gap. So it's about 3 to 5 turns that I've turned it, moved it away from this clutch perch, so in this direction. So what I've done is actually I've left myself some room for adjustment in the future. So if I want, I can move this adjuster nut closer to the perch. That'll basically be increasing, adding a little slack to the clutch cable. And if I wanted, I could still move it away from the perch. That'll be removing slack from the clutch cable. So I can do it from this end, and I don't need to worry about touching the other end of the clutch cable. So okay, this lock nut's completely tight, locked. Now all we need to do is worry about the other side. On this end, let's go ahead and put the outer lock nut, and then put the rubber boot that we took out earlier. Okay, with the rubber boot in, now we just need to connect it to this actuator arm from the side right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push this clutch cable in a little bit, so the inner nut and the outer nut are somewhat in the middle of this threaded region. And from here we can fine tune the clutch cable free play. Before we set the correct clutch lever free play, make sure that there's not too much clutch cable in here. If there is, just push it in here and then pull it from here, because if it is bunched up there, it will apply force on your handlebar, causing the handlebar to turn left, which when riding your bike will then veer right because of counter steering. And the way to verify that is lift up your front wheel off the ground. So I'm just going to apply force on the rear. Okay, the front wheel's off the ground and my handlebar is not turning left. Now that the clutch cable has been routed such that it's not applying any force on the handlebar to make the handlebar turn left, I won't have any counter steering issues and the bike pulling to the right when riding. Final thing left to do is to set the correct clutch lever free play. The spec, according to the manual, is between 9 and 11 millimeters, so about 10 millimeters, and that's the free play measured from the tip of the clutch lever, so how much the tip moves before the clutch fully engages. However, that spec is only applies for the stock clutch lever. If you have an aftermarket clutch lever like my one, which is shorter, that 9 to 11 millimeter clutch lever free play will not apply anymore. So it'll vary. The longer the lever, the higher the free play needs to be, and the shorter the lever, the smaller the free play needs to be. So I hate it when manufacturers actually list the free play from the edge of the clutch lever, because a lot of times people will replace the clutch lever with aftermarket ones. So I prefer measuring the clutch lever free play where the clutch lever meets this perch right here. So the gap between this and this before the clutch engages. And this will be uniform for regardless of the clutch lever you put in. So even if you change to an aftermarket lever, this free play will remain the same. So ideally this free play needs to be definitely more than 1 mm. Right now it's far less than 1 mm. It's like not even half mm, but ideally it should be closer to 2 mm. So between 1 and 2 mm is ideal. And if you want to be safe, it's better to err on the side of more free play. It's better to be loose than it to be tight. That's because if it's too tight, even when your clutch lever is fully released, your clutch plates are not going to fully engage, and that's going to cause your clutch plates to slip and going to wear out your clutch much faster. If it's too loose, on the other hand, When you compress it fully, your clutch may not be fully disengaged. Shifting gears might feel a little clunky. So ideally, you want to be in that 1 to 2 lever free play range. But if you have to, err on the side of being too loose rather than too tight. We can adjust the free play of the clutch lever from this end. So if I want to add free play, I need to move the clutch cable in this direction. If I need to remove free play, I need to move the clutch cable through the guide in this direction. So since I already showed you that my clutch lever free play is too little, I need to increase the free play. I need to move the cable in this direction. So what I need to do is I need to loosen this nut first, the inner nut. Just loosen it a little bit and then move the cable as much as you can, as much as the nut allows, and then tighten this outer nut so it holds it in place. Don't torque it up yet, just tighten it. And let's go ahead and measure the free play on the clutch lever. It looks like I added too much slack, too much free play. So I'm gonna remove slack. To remove slack or remove free play, I need to push the clutch cable in this direction. So I'm gonna loosen the outer nut. I can do it by hand because I haven't torqued it yet, just a little bit. And then I can push the cable this side and then tighten the inner nut so it holds it in place. Let's check the free play now. And perfect. It's definitely more than 1 mm. It's probably closer to 2 mm, but slightly less than 2 mm. And I've done this so many times that I can feel it, that this is about right, and it's on the slightly on the looser end than on the tighter end. You also want to turn the handlebar right, left, right, left, like a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times, and then check the clutch lever free play again, just to make sure that in all range of the handlebar position, the clutch lever free play is fine. So let's check the lever free play again. Perfect. All that's left to do is now tighten up these two nuts, the inner nut and the outer nut. So again, two 12 mm spanners. Okay, should be good enough. I like to check the free play one last time. Still looks good. Rotate the handlebar a few times again. And check the free play again. Okay, looks good. Clutch cable properly installed, as well as clutch lever free play also correctly set. All that's left to do is put the fuel tank back on. As you can tell, it was very easy to do. In all honesty, if I wasn't filming or if I wasn't thinking about filming, I could have done this in half an hour, 45 minutes tops. So yeah, it's a good skill to have. It'll save you a day in case your clutch cable breaks when you're touring. You don't have to get it towed and get it to a service center to get it fixed. You can do it on the road in an hour tops. Hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, it's your boy Easy. Take care, guys.